Athletics has been an extensive part to America's college history. The obsession with college sports began because of the Morrill Land-Grant College Act of 1862 and post-Civil War industrialization. The act was passed by Abraham Lincoln, which gave land to each state to be sold for the money to be put into colleges that would provide education of professions practical at that time. American colleges are deeply invested in modern-day sports, which causes many people to wonder why athletes have not been receiving a paycheck like professional sports. This has turned into a debate amongst many sport-loving people in America. Should college athletes be paid? Collegiate athletes should not get paid to play their sports while going to school. A vast majority of these athletes are on some type of scholarship, whether it is a full ride or only a partial. The college athlete decides for this part of their career not to get paid for playing their sport. They agreed for tuition, room and board, books, and to follow the rules of the NCAA as compensation. No one is making kids go to school to make money for the colleges and universities. They and their families choose to do this. It is an agreement that is not set up to pay them in ways that is fair in relation to the money the schools make from their participation. It's rather like taking an unpaid internship to prepare for a better job later in life. Ms. Jessica Tuchek is a Kent State student-athlete graduate that went on to play professional women's softball before becoming a teacher for Medina High School. I asked her what her opinion was on the debate over athletes being paid.
As a former student-athlete, I don't think that athletes need to be paid for being an athlete at any type of university because they have different opportunities and privileges that other athletes do not have. For instance, they are given their tuition, and a lot of them are on full rides and do not have to worry about taking out loans in order to pay for school and their housing. Their housing is generally paid for, or a portion of it is paid for, so they don't have to worry about that expense either. The fact that their degree will be paid for either in full or in part will help them to get into their career, so that is also bettering their future. The opportunities that they have as a student athlete in regards to your travel and privileges are also paid through being a student athlete, such as traveling around the world. You get, and as you travel, you don't have to pay for your food on the road because that's paid for through the team and through your per diem from the coach. You have a few different privileges at school, such as tutoring centers. You have access to the trainers and the doctors, so you don't have to worry about paying medical expenses or anything for your education. And practice wear is provided for you, so that way you can dress as a team. So usually that includes your shirt, your shorts, your shoes, and also the equipment needed for practices, and the school pays for that, so you don't have to go out and pay for your own expenses. I think that's why student athletes don't need to be paid.
She has been a great addition to the teaching and coaching staff at the Medina High School, with the softball team making deep runs into the playoffs the past 2 years. She's a knowledgeable source on college athletics and if athletes should get paid. The bottom line is that athletes should not be paid a salary. They should get something more than what they are currently getting for making their school loads of money. The vast majority of college basketball players never make it to the pros, under 100 out of about 5,000 athletes, and all expenses paid degree provides a much better incentive than a paycheck, says NCAA President Mark Emmert. In the past week, the NCAA Division I Board of Directors endorsed a restructuring plan that will provide schools in the power conferences more autonomy in setting rules for athletes, while also providing a change in rules pertaining to the way schools feed athletes. Changes in the way student athletes are treated are coming in a variety of other areas as well, from financial aid and health insurance to how tickets and travel expenses are handled. After the rule change, of course, non-scholarship or walk-on athletes will be eligible for food through the athletic department. In this past National Collegiate Athletics Association football season, there was one athlete that was in the spotlight quite frequently, Johnny Manziel. He is the sophomore star quarterback of the Texas A&M football team. He was suspended for the first half of his team's home opener due to the signing autographs earlier in the year. He did not accept any money for signing these autographs, but got a minimal punishment because he failed to realize the trinket brokers would profit from his signature. This is an argument many athletes propose as a reason why they should receive some type of payment. Professional athletes, actresses, and actors get paid to sign autographs, while the collegiate athletes are not. They feel like, what's the difference? They are bringing a boatload of money into their school. But if you compensate student athletes monetarily, how do you decide who gets paid? In the September 16, 2013 issue of the Time magazine, there was a proposal given on how college athletes should be paid. They said the best players would get near the maximum amount of money while others would get less. It would be up to each school to distribute the funds as needed. And schools could pay athletes in other sports, of course. A star baseball player or a women's basketball player at a powerhouse like Connecticut could also get a paycheck, but the total amount of any school could pay out would be capped at $1.5 million. Experts think this is a conservative number given the millions in revenue that sports and TV deals provide. Any cap won't placate the free market supporters. $30,000 per year, however, is a huge improvement, they believe. Time also believes that universities should also give athletes at least the right to secure sponsorship, star in a commercial, or offer their signatures for money. Schools could require that players remain academically eligible in order to receive any kind of payments. The issue is that paying players has many risks. The richer schools that are in the power conferences will be able to buy talent, which would disrupt the competitive balance in college sports. 29% of 628 people polled said that their interest in college athletics would decrease if players received a salary. Not only would paying players make the game more professionalized, it would create even more of a mockery of athletes receiving a college education. Many athletes choose easy majors in order to stay eligible on the field. The NCAA has made changes to the rules the day before the Northwestern football players voted on unionizing. The result will not be released for months, but the changes should have affected the way they voted. These changes were fair and I believe are a better way of compensating the athletes than paying them. In the end, the athletes are still college students and most importantly at the university to receive a degree that would help them better them in their life if athletics cannot help them earn a living. A Baltimore Ravens Pro Bowler linebacker once said, "Don't walk through life just playing football. Don't walk through life just being an athlete. Athletics will fade, character and integrity, and really making an impact on someone's life. That's the ultimate vision. That's the ultimate goal. Bottom line."